There's something unsettling about hospitals at night. The way the lights hum, the way the halls echo, the way you can almost feel someone watching you from behind the curtains. This story comes from a nurse named Claire, who worked the night shift at a small-town hospital in Pennsylvania. It wasn't a big place, 2 floors, maybe a dozen patients on her rotation. She liked the quiet shifts. The only sound at night was the steady rhythm of the monitors and the occasional squeak of her shoes on the linoleum floor. But one night, she noticed something strange. Room 304's call light was on. She didn't think much of it, just another patient needing help, but when she checked her chart, 304 was listed as vacant. She assumed it was a mistake in the system and went to turn it off. When she reached the room, the light above the door was glowing red. Inside, it was dim and cold. The bed was perfectly made, no patient, no chart. But the light kept flickering like someone had pressed the call button over and over again. She shrugged it off, switched the light off manually, and went back to the nurse's station. Not even 5 minutes later, it turned back on. She stared at it for a moment, waiting, thinking maybe one of the maintenance guys was messing around. But when she checked down the hall, it was empty. Again, she went in. The same eerie chill. The smell of disinfectant stronger than usual. And this time, she heard something faint. The sound of someone breathing, slow, deliberate, coming from behind the privacy curtain.
She hesitated. Hello? No answer. She pulled the curtain back. The bed was still empty, but the pillow was indented, like someone had just been lying there. She backed out slowly and closed the door. Her skin was crawling. At the station, she told her coworker, a veteran nurse named Ellen, what happened. Ellen frowned and said quietly, "That room's been closed since the fire." Claire blinked. What fire? Ellen sighed. 2 years ago, patient refused to evacuate. They found him burned beyond recognition. We don't assign anyone to 304 anymore. Maintenance hasn't fixed the wiring in there either. Probably just a glitch. But Claire couldn't shake the feeling that it wasn't. Around 3 a.m., while doing rounds, she heard it again. The faint ding of the call bell from room 304. This time, she didn't go in. She walked past slowly, heart pounding, and glanced through the narrow window on the door. Someone was sitting upright in the bed. An old man in a hospital gown, head tilted down, hands resting on his lap. She froze. She knew what she was seeing wasn't possible, but there he was. She whispered, "Sir? Are you okay?" The man slowly turned his head toward her. His eyes caught the hallway light, glassy, hollow, like they weren't reflecting anything at all. His mouth moved, but no sound came out. Then the call light went off. The room went dark. She stumbled back and ran straight to Ellen. They returned to the room together, but when they opened the door, the bed was empty again. Only the faint smell of smoke lingered. Ellen told her not to tell anyone. It would sound crazy, but Claire couldn't let it go. The next night, she came back early and checked the hospital's old records. Room 304. The patient's name was Thomas Hale. Admitted for severe burns, passed away during a late-night fire caused by faulty oxygen equipment. There was a photo attached to the file. An older man with pale eyes. The same face she saw through the glass.
She printed the report and brought it to Ellen.
Ellen barely glanced at it before saying, "That's him! The man who died in 304. They sealed the room after that. No one's supposed to go in there." But if that were true, Claire realized, then who had turned on the cot light? A week later, Claire switched shifts to days. She didn't want anything to do with the night rotation anymore. But on her final night shift, as she was leaving, she passed by the closed door of 304 one last time. She thought she heard someone whisper her name from inside. She stopped, held her breath, and pressed her ear to the door. At first, nothing. Then a faint, rasping voice said, "You're late for your rounds, nurse." She stumbled back and ran down the hall. The call light for room 304 flicked on again, glowing red behind her. Security checked the room the next morning. They found the bed neatly made, the monitor powered on, despite having been unplugged for years, and sitting on the tray table beside the bed was a half-filled cup of water, still cold. No one had touched that room since the night before. But the hospital logs showed a call request from room 304, time-stamped at 3:04 a.m. And underneath it, a note appeared in the system that no one admitted to typing. It read, "Patient checked in."